A follower sent me a message yesterday asking if you're allowed to like both WWE and AEW. And it was at this moment that I realized the internet wrestling community had completely and utterly failed. First things first, as this message suggests, this literally puts new fans off watching products. This follower was basically asking me if he was allowed to like both WWE and AEW, or if it's like sports teams where you have to pick one. And the fact that the community has kind of created this atmosphere, or whatever you want to call it, I mean, it's disgraceful. Secondly, I mean, why not enjoy both? They're both fantastic products. You can enjoy every product. There's more than WWE and AEW too. There's TNA, there's GCW, Progress Wrestling in the UK, shout out to them. But there's so many different companies out there. Just enjoy what you enjoy. Now, don't get me wrong, people obviously have preferences. Some people like the faster paced shows like AEW. Others prefer a little bit of a slower, calmer pace, like WWE. I've always been quite honest that I find AEW shows a little bit too fast at times, especially their pay-per-views. It doesn't really feel like you can get up, get a drink, have a relaxer a moment. It's just bang, 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 bang. But then other people complain about WWE shows being too slow. Literally, it's just personal preference. But just because, maybe the pacing of AEW shows are a little bit too fast for me, doesn't mean that I don't enjoy them. There are so many things from them that I absolutely love. And also, at the end of the day, right, other than pacing and maybe AEW focusing on a little bit more of the in-ring product compared to the storylines, but even then they have brilliant storylines too, but the products are so similar that I don't understand how you could love one of them and then hate another. Like, they are too similar for there to be that much of a difference. But by far the weirdest part about all of this is these Twitter accounts, or X accounts as they want to be called now, because they are literal accounts on both sides, and I feel weird calling it sides, but that's basically what this is at this point, who are trying to defend WWE or trying to defend AEW, meanwhile just taking constant shots at the other company. It's like they're trying to do WWE or AEW's PR for them. I mean, these companies aren't paying you guys. Like, running a social media account takes time. It's not like, 10 minutes a day type of thing. It will take them like an hour a day, and they're not even getting paid to do this free promotion. It's just so bizarre. And actually, that's wrong. They do actually get paid now by X for the more views the tweets get, the more engagement they get. So them saying controversial things and basically just fishing for engagement, it does work and it does get their money. But it makes wrestling fans look like complete and utter idiots, and some people legitimately believe it. And the thing is, when it comes to WWE, pretty much everybody has seen that at one point in their life. But with AEW, still a lot of WWE fans have not experienced that. So if they are then seeing tweets like these, it will put them off even trying to watch it, which sucks because, again, there's so much great stuff in AEW, just like there's so much great stuff in all these promotions. And on that note too, by the way, because I've seen some AEW fans doing this, don't start saying, oh, you're a casual fan, if some people only watch a few AEW shows from time to time. Not everybody has the time to watch every wrestling product every week, and that's another issue in this community. There's too much gatekeeping. Now, don't get me wrong, I do complain about stuff on both shows myself, right? Like I said, the personal opinions and all of that. And last year, if I'm being honest, there was probably more in AEW than I complained about in WWE. But there was also so much good stuff in both. There's way more good than bad. And I do just think as humans, sometimes we do like to focus more on the negatives rather than the positives, which is probably an issue in itself, but that's a conversation for another day. I mean, the communities for both of these companies now, it really is becoming like a sports team. And I just don't get it at all. Now, I will say this, right? I do think 2019 AEW does have to take some of the blame here, because when the company started, they were taking shot after shot after shot at WWE. But at the same time, then I thought it at least made sense, right? They were the new kids out on the block. They were a new company. And one of the rules for startup companies is you kind of need an us versus them mentality. And right at the start of a company, it does make sense. And those shots weren't really hurting WWE, but they were getting AEW's name out there. So maybe I'm contradicting myself a little here, but I do think at that point it worked. But from about 2020, 2021 onwards, these shots were not hitting the same. And it was clear at this point, hey AEW, everybody, well, most people know who you are now. You don't need to be taking these shots. And then WWE started doing the same back as well. And then I was like, at this point, it's helping neither. At the start, it was helping AEW get its name out there. Now it's helping neither. I remember in 2020, I came across an Instagram page called Burying Smarks, a good friend of mine now. And honestly, he's a great guy. Shout out to him. But his entire thing on Instagram was he was making fun at the shots that AEW was taking at WWE and basically contradicting them. And this, I actually think, inadvertently inspired a lot of these anti-AEW pages. But this was not an anti-AEW page. It was just a page poking fun at the irony of what was going on. And I do think it was around this time when these posts started going a little bit viral that it became clear these shots weren't working anymore and AEW needed to just focus on themselves. But since then, like I said, both sides are now legitimately creating social media pages to just try and go at the other side. I don't get it. Just do touch grass or something. I don't know. The one theory I do have about why so many wrestling content creators are so negative about AEW or very rarely cover AEW is because of their strict content policies. Of course, we know at the start of the promotion, they said that they would, be helping creators, and then they ended up getting tons of accounts taken down for showing their footage. And, it's frustrating, especially considering they have tougher rules in WWE. But at the same time, I do think a lot of it is Turner rather than AEW. But again, and I'll repeat this so many times, wrestling companies nowadays, they need to, give content creators, a little bit of leeway. It really is the best form probably of promotion. So if you're taking down content which is being shared about your company, it's not a good look. But I do also think they have gotten better with that because we've had no issues in the last 6 or 12 months with AEW with content compared to the first couple of years where we did. But yeah, to summarize this little rant, basically, both WWE and AEW just need to be a little bit more welcoming to fans, right? Don't draw these lines. You don't need to say you're a WWE fan or an AEW fan. Just be a wrestling fan. Also, don't have a go at people if they can't watch every show every week because most people don't have the time for that. Just enjoy wrestling. Be positive. If you have a criticism, feel free to share it. We're humans at the end of the day. We like to complain about things, but don't be like, WWE good, AEW bad, or vice versa. It is completely and utterly stupid. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow to talk about Friday Night SmackDown. Hopefully that'll be a good show, and hopefully not everybody in the comments will then be going on about, oh, you're being biased towards WWE, because, I'm just so sick of this. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace!